I was not born into this. I was not given this. I worked so hard, continuous nights and days for me to get there. There is a lot of things that I had to go through, trials and tribulations for me to reach the stage.
What would it be? It's going to take this audience that 1% further.
Focus on what actually gives you happiness, health and wealth. If it's not doing that for you, you don't allow it. You need to be the CEO of your life. You hire, you fire people in your life as you want.
You've set that as a framework in your life.
Because again, happiness is an inside job. It's called self-love, self-respect, self-awareness. It's all self within. It's not items, watches, cars, and where we're going to. Nobody cares. Look at me, I'm doing this. Okay, fine. Then what? You attracted negative energy to your life.
If you look at a Rolex advert, any advert for any luxury watch, every date dial, every picture is set to the number 28 because 28 is the number of wealth. Numerology is hidden in plain sight.
Quran is nothing but a big book of numerology. Everything in the Quran is numbers, and that's the whole thing. We forgot how powerful numbers are.
So you walk around on the daily with $500,000 cash on you.
Pocket money.
And we are back in Dubai with the Frankie Lee podcast. And today I'm bringing you a guest. I have brought you before, but this time we're bringing it with top quality sound because last time I didn't feel like we did this man justice. Ahmed Ben Chaibah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, mate. It's
this
good.
time is different style.
We've gone the full Emirati style now.
Why not? Last time I didn't give you the full effect. Now
I think it adds to the aesthetic. Do you know what I mean? It gives a proper. I mean, I know you just parked the car and scared everyone in the car park because they thought the sheikh had arrived.
Basically, yeah. I'm the owner of the apartment. They gave me the parking directly. Problem solved.
Obviously, look, we touched upon this last time, but I want to give people a bit of context as to what you've done because obviously you've set up one of the biggest water parks.
No, the biggest.
The biggest water park in Dubai.
No, the world.
The world, and scaled it to multiple locations across the Gulf now. I think you've got over 40 locations, haven't you?
34 exactly.
34 locations
exactly,
now.
Yeah.
And scaling quickly. I think your story is impeccable because of the nature of how you've gone from having a back injury, lying in a bed, working a job, and then you've kind of had a flip the script moment where you've kind of rewritten your whole life and your whole narrative. And I believe you went from like a victim mentality to someone who's more abundant in their life and everything changed for you. So I want to kind of start there and kind of give me a bit of a backstory into how that flip of the switch happened.
Because I was one thing all my life, like that events manager, the music, the athlete, all that stuff, and then unplugged. And it was like 41 days in bed. The doctor told me you wouldn't be able to walk for another. He told me when can I be able to stand for another 6 months. I refused to believe that. I thought I had so many friends, but when that happened, like I think from all the hundreds that I had, maybe one person visited me. It's like cool. So I realized I'm here alone. Let me figure it out. Be a victim or cry about or recreate myself. And that's what happened. I started doing therapy. Instead of doing once a week, I was doing 3 times a week. Within 2 months, I was walking. So I'm 30 years old. I had to learn how to walk again. That was interesting. And then start doing the beginning of Aquafun. And that was a wake-up call because I was always, top tier, the director of this and this and this. Everybody's kissing my ass. And then now I'm starting from all over again. Who are you? What are you doing? So first year I always talk about this. I was rejected 617 times. So basically every single day I was meeting at least 2 people and telling me, no, it's not going to work out. Until the last day of my first year, that's when I did my first deal. But it was a lot of things. Within the last 11 years now, decade plus, I was sued 18 times, bankrupt once, but now I'm the biggest operator in the world. So it's a very interesting, but I think the genius thing I did was I never quit. I said, I'm smart, but I'm not the smartest person out in the room. But I'm just consistently consistent, and I don't understand quitting.
So do you think it's literally a case of a person not accepting no in their life and not accepting that, other people's pre-adorned reality of what they should be doing is projected onto them?
Yeah, because, I try to take people's opinion and parent with it. I couldn't. So people can always reflect their insecurities about you, on you, regardless, because you can't do this. You say, okay, cool. That's your reality, not my reality. But I think it was a level of obsession that I'm going to make this happen, that I don't understand this word for it, so accomplisophilia. It's I'm only interested in accomplishing big things, wow things. I can't do small things. I don't understand that. It does not interest me at all. For me, I need to be, in a way, terrified to be excited to do that. For me to be terrified, I mean the goal have to be, oh my God, you're going to do what? And then, yes, let's do that. So it's that kind of mindset.
So you go from athlete, you injure your back in a bad way. You now can't walk. You're laying in that hospital bed, and you understand now. Okay, who are my real friends? Obviously, there's not a lot of people turn up to see me. So obviously, that tells you your reality is not what you think it is straight away. That's quite a confronting moment. How do you go from that and learning to walk? And because I imagine in your mind at that point, you're thinking, my biggest issue right now is learning to walk again. How do you go from that to thinking, okay, I have to set up aqua parks and this is my route to success?
Yeah. Bunch of things happening all in the same time. Because first of all, I'm in bed all day. So all I gotta do is just be in my head. So all the demons that I run away from all my life, face them all. So it's a very much reality check and an authenticity check. It's like, now, who are you really? Now that all this noise and lights and all the stuff you were, who are you now? So that's like, it's a very big test of who you are as a person. And then, okay. And then I remember, like, of course, I'm in bed all day. What to do? Just consume content. So like, I'm either YouTube or Netflix or all the stuff. And then, like, I remember there was one video of this, a simple thing that triggered the whole sequence of what Aquafan could be. And I think that was what I want to do. And then I remember I started talking to different companies. Hey, I want to buy from you. I want to be your franchisee. I mean, you're Arab, you're young, you're nobody. We want to give it to you. So it even triggers me more. So, okay, I'm going to show you who I am. So that was like the focus. Okay, let me go and get at least physical. Let me start moving. So that the walking part, that was very hard. Because like a simple thing that, that we take for granted, like standing up, sitting down, like doing this, squatting, can't do anymore. So it was very interesting. Like, it's like, okay, you don't take things for granted anymore. It's like, wow. Like my head says yes, my body says no. But yeah, it was all here.
Do you think it was like a divine intervention to get you to reset your life because you perhaps weren't living it in the way?
Yeah, I think so too. I think in a way I was unplugged. Like I had to be unplugged of what I was doing because I was doing too much. And you learn so much, and then you need to unlearn to relearn actually how life is. I could never change back. Like, if I have a chance to go back in time, I will never change this.
Because it's like, it seems to me from the outside looking in that new neurological pathways were connected through adversity for you.
Yes.
Because you never would have been able to even connect the dots in the way that you connected them now if you hadn't have gone through the adversity. So what is your advice then and guidance to people that feel like at this point in their life, they're going through some really hard times and they're sat there and they just go, when's this going to end? What do I do next? What would your advice be to them?
You're not alone. Everybody goes through it. I think one of the biggest thing was nobody cares. That was the biggest one. Nobody actually cares. Nobody's coming to save me. So I need to save myself. I need to. There's only one part of the equation I have control on. Is my reaction to things. Things are happening to me everywhere. Okay, how do I? The only thing you can control in the whole equation is like your reaction to it, how you receive these things. And I was okay. Today didn't work out. Tomorrow's a new day. Today didn't work out. Tomorrow's a new day. Again, new day. Okay, new day, new energy. So work out. Is that like kind of like it's just like how to put this? It's a very interesting way of undeniable optimism. It's positive. It's okay. It's gonna work out. Eventually, gonna work out. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Because it takes time. It takes time. So I think being physically fit was a very important thing because that gives me a discipline. Because being in the gym, going to the gym, or doing intentional hard labor on my body and putting myself in actual hardship, that got my brain to become much stronger. So that was a very important part of it. That gave me disciplines. Because I have good days, I have bad days. The bad days, that's the days I push myself to go and do it because that's when things happen. There was a phase of 57 months of not a single day off. 57 months of saying every single day I was working between 9 to 18 hours. No days off. And that's why I always say you can't outwork me because it was that level of obsession that I need to be there doing it. So I was from down to up, everything.
In order to have that much belief and understanding in what you're doing and dedication to work that many hours for that long period of time, do you think that people need to find purpose in what they're doing before they can actually apply themselves to that much work ethic? Yes
and no. In a sense, people want to follow the passion and make money from that and so on and so on. Yeah, that's fine. But you make money from something you're either good at, something you're passionate about, or an opportunity. That's it. Found passion and so on. Yeah, it's nice, but then does it really pay the bills? And again, everybody have a different limit. Some people can be making $60,000 and they're happy, and there's people making $3 million and they're miserable. So it's like, what's the purpose of you doing this? Is it just the money? That's one line of things. Because I wish for people to get the first $10 million tomorrow, so they understand it's not about the money. Because I had that, and I lost all of that, and I started again, and I lost all of that, and I understood it was not about money. Like now, I'm so obsessed with just the process. I enjoy the process of just building, fixing, failing. Man, the failing is the biggest lesson ever.
How can you? Obviously, a lot of this audience are going to think it is about the money. Like they're going to think that they do need the $1 million. Obviously, that process is something that you have to find out on your own thing. If someone's sitting there right now and they're thinking, well, it is about the money. I'm earning £35,000 a year in England, or I'm in Dubai on 100K a year, or wherever they are. They're in a job. They want to swip out of job to entrepreneur. They want to go and get this abundance in their life. They're willing to create it. They're willing to work. Like how do you convince them not to focus on the money and just to focus on the actions and the purpose and the thought process behind the business model?
Being an entrepreneur is not for everybody, because it's just a sexy word being thrown everywhere. Be an entrepreneur. I'm the owner. It's like, no, that's just self-employed. That's politically. Because if you leave your business for the next, so we call this 90-day test. If you leave the business for 90 days, will the business continue actually existing or not? Most people will disappear.
Yeah.
So you're just self-employed. So let's stop that whole I'm an entrepreneur. It's not easy. It's lonely. It's hard. It's miserable. It's testing. It's all these things. So unless if you're ready to go through that and go through 2, 3, 4 years of not making money and then making it, because like everybody making it, I started doing this thing for a month and I became a millionaire. Bullshit. It doesn't happen that way. Maybe if we're like con artists, perhaps that's possible, but it takes time. It's like a hockey stick. Nothing for years, and then it hits and becomes something. People are so afraid to try things, so they're afraid to fail. But it's like, this is success. You need to. The earlier you get to failure, the faster you get to success. But people are too afraid to do that. And it's like failing gives you knowledge, and knowledge gives you power. Failure gives you feedback. Feedback gives me knowledge. Knowledge gives you power. So failure is power. So you need to go through that sequence. You got to learn. You got to lose to learn to win.
So there's a lot of lessons in pushing it far enough to even fail in the first place that you can learn from. But most people at that point turn around and go the opposite way.
Exactly. Because if you succeed from the beginning, you haven't learned nothing. It's only by failing, okay, I'm going to learn. I learned this from failing. I'm going to change and adapt and improve this. But if you succeed from the beginning, which has never happened, and this is the illusion, people think, I'm going to do this and everybody's going to buy it. No. You are Arab, you were born into money. I wish it was the case. Or your family was rich. I wish that was the case. You have the government supporting you. Again, I wish that was the case, but none of that was existed.
Let's address this stigma, because there is
that's why I'm wearing this today.
There is a lot of stigma around the Emirati culture, and there's a lot of maybe myths, maybe not myths. Let's dispel some of them.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that say that when you're Emirati, you get given land by the government, you get given $1 million a year guaranteed. These are all myths that are in the Western world, predicated on you being Emirati. That you're helped in these kind of ways. Just give me the reality of being Emirati and kind of what that's like. Okay,
so first of all, we are a minority in our country. We are around 9-10% of the population. Number one, yes, our government take very amazing care of us. We are number one passport in the world. We have access to 180 countries with our passport, no visa. Okay, amazing. Yes, if me and you do the same government job, I get paid more than you because I am from this country. Yes. Government will, if you apply for it, yes, you will get a land for free or a house for free, and then get a long-term loan to build a house. Amazing. Okay, good. You have amazing healthcare, amazing education, all for free. That's perfect. But then, ultimately, if you don't perform, you don't get what you want. Yeah, okay, yes, maybe you get all the salary jobs. Salary is a salary. You're still going to be in a rat race. You're going to still be capped. But if you want to talk about the level of, like, you want to be an entrepreneur, or you're going to have not richness, wealth, that's different. That's through business. I'll speak from my own experience. Yes, I'm from here. I'm Emirati, but I've been tested more than anybody else because I was doing a business that nobody ever did before. What do you mean you want to do water parks in the sea? That was a very interesting formula. Again, I was sued like everybody else.
Why were you sued?
Suppliers, because in the beginning of the business, you think you know everything. In the beginning of my business, I had one partner. That guy signed a lot of contracts, and these contracts were a lot of clauses that were wrong. He fled the country, left me with everything, with the debts and all the suppliers that was not paid and had bad clauses for us. And I was just battling with everybody. So for the first year, we did something, and then the next 3 years, I was just battling cases, just making money, paying, and then we cleared everything else. So it's not easy. It is.
Is there I imagine there's quite a pressure in being Emirati because when you're Emirati, most people from the outside looking in, especially in the Western world, presume that you've got to be multi-millionaire, hundreds of millions in the bank because of the way that you dress, because of the way that you carry yourselves as people. You know, most of the outside world sees you as wealthy people. Are you saying that's not always
never the case?
No.
Because again, I am the ambassador of my own country. And what I mean by that, I'm ambassador in the way I talk, I behave, and act in the kindness and how to communicate with people. So when I have to hold myself to a specific level of communication and respect wherever I am. Because if it turns around, it doesn't going to say Ahmed did, it's going to say Emirati did that. So that's how I look at it. So like when I was doing my business and I wanted to be the statements and the words I was saying in water, I don't look at it as Ahmed, I look at it as everything I do, it will reflect directly on the city and the country. So I need to think about it in a very macro way, not in a micro way. So that's how you feel about it.
Do you feel pressure within the culture of Emiratis to succeed in business? And is it kind of like a bit of a keep up with the Joneses type of scenario within the Emirati culture?
Honestly, I never cared about it. I was always in my lane. I never cared about having that, to be honest. Never did.
But there must be some kind of pressure to that from being...
I never look at other way because I apply enough pressure on myself. In a sense, like I like to always, how do I double myself? How do I become... this year I was... Because for me, when I set goals for my business, I always set goals like I want to increase 700%. So again, I set a lot of big goals on myself. And usually I do the goals or a bit less, which is also high. I don't have peer pressure. Because again, I never smoked, never drank, never did none of these things in my life.
Same here,
yeah. So like, it takes a specific kind of individual in their head not to worry about these things. Yes, I have a lot of friends who are like, Emiratis and wealthy and so on, so from big families, but that's their story, not my story. Again, I create my own lane. And
I think from seeing it from my own growing up in the UK, when I was not, obviously I don't drink, smoke, do drugs and all that kind of stuff. And when you don't do that, you are classed as an odd one out. You're classed as Yeah,
because you're not following the sheep.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
But where it leads you, I believe, and the self-belief that it gives you from not doing these things for a prolonged period of time and for staying out of this same culture, that self-belief, that ingrainedness within you.
Exactly.
That comes through in whatever you're doing, and I believe that's come through in the business that you're operating.
Exactly, because again, the 1%ers are few, 1%. So few of us out there, and that's fine. Because again, you would justify all these things if you want to justify them. There was a video of me. I spoke about this. If an alien comes to Earth right now, you ask alien, I ask you what do you do for fun? You would say, I like to inhale fumes, drink poison, and put myself in a big room with loud music that dumps my consciousness. That's fun. It's like, I don't understand that. Oh, I just want to have fun and get some drinks. Fine. You want to put poison in your body? Do it. Again, this is your life choices. I'm not going to judge you for it. But don't come to me with like, oh, your life is miserable, this. Because again, there's conditions towards getting what you get. You can't, I'm going to sit on my couch and I'm going to have a six-pack. No, you got to get up, do your cardio, eat properly, do your workout, sleep, and eat properly. There's conditions towards everything in life. You can't just break the conditions. It's like, I identify as a billionaire. No, you don't. You can't just identify yourself with that. There is a reality checks towards that. There is specific levels of hard work and things you got to do it.
So what non-negotiables are you putting in place so that you can construct this reality that you live in?
I don't have excuses in a sense, like, like I'm very accountable. If I do wrong, I say, yes, I did wrong. This is where I messed up. This is what I learned from it. Like literally last month, like there was something I did in business, was a big mistake and lost a good chunk of money. And there was certain things I'm accountable on. If I did them before time, I would not be through this. I got the team, guys, this happened. It's my mistake. This is how my mistake was. It could have been done differently if I did this. It's okay. I take the full blame for that, responsibility for that. But what we learn from this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can move forward from here. Because confidence is not a personality trait. It's a skill set. It's the willingness to go from a thought to action. It's the willingness to try. And most people don't want to try things because they're too afraid to try things and fail. But for me, like I understand very early that failing is the way for me to learn things faster. Much faster than anybody else. So sitting down there and analyzing, because like if it's overthinking it's basically you trying to control the outcome, but you can't control the outcome. You only can control you doing it, and the outcome comes regardless. You can't have control on that. So that's the thing. I don't overthink things. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go and do it, because it's either gonna succeed or fail. And either way, I will deal with it.
And you'll learn and you'll
exactly.
take accountability for it.
Amazing. If it went wrong, okay, we'll adjust it then. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. Yeah. But it's points to me, I'm worrying about all these outcomes. You can't control them.
So you're not judging yourself before something's happened. You're allowing it to happen how it's meant to happen. You're putting in your best effort to get there. Mm-hmm. You get there. It either works or it doesn't work. You learn, you adjust, you move on, you go again.
Exactly.
You pivot from that point.
Absolutely.
But at all stages throughout the process, you are not judging yourself. You'll take accountability, but you're not putting yourself down.
No.
And you're talking to yourself in a way that allows you to grow. A lot of people's self-conversation
I was just going to talk about that. This is like, I always want to talk to people. First stage is that, how do you talk to yourself? Because most people, they are like self-doubt, self-hate. You put yourself down, like, why? Like, you can't be in war with the world and yourself. It's exhausting. And you cannot... Mountains are there for you to climb, not to carry. People carrying the mountains and they're putting themselves down and calling themselves all these names. Like, why? No, I'm my best friend. Like, I never have a single grain of doubt in my head about I can do this or not can do this. Because why would I do that to myself? It's like, it's ice for me. It's like, what? It's counterproductive. It's like, why would you do that?
But there was a time in your life when you did doubt yourself. So how have you bridged that gap and changed it so that now you no longer do that?
Because I looked at it in a very practical matter. It's like, okay, why would I do that to myself? Because again, we all tell lies to ourselves. We all are storytellers. So at least tell a story that makes you forward in life, not backward in life.
I do it all the time. So even in this journal, and I can show you after the podcast, I have gratitude for things that haven't even happened in my reality yet that I know are going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that might sound
that's how it is.
And woo-woo. But but in order for me to, I have to say thank you for having 100,000 subscribers on YouTube before it happens, because I've already accepted that reality is going to become my reality, and that's done in my head. Yeah. So it's like, see, do you practice gratitude in the same way?
Differently, but like for me, it's like, before I do any project, I imagine the emotion behind it. Not the material parts, the emotion, like how it feels for me to be there, and the sounds of the people, the feeling of the sand between my toes, how the breeze coming in my face. So I imagine all the emotions towards it. So yes, I do that in that kind of sense. And again, when you manifest things, you need to manifest it in a specific level. You got to let go of all the fears that hold you back to get in what you want in your life. And that's the point people will always think of what holds them back. No, don't do that.
It's interesting you mentioned the word manifestation, because some Emiratis won't mention that word because they're tied to religious beliefs that mean that they can't say that word. So what is manifestation to you, and how are you like actioning on that?
Because again, the word, maybe it's in English, but in Arabic we have the same actions and the same kind of mindset. Yes, okay, do the dua and prayers, but then in the Quran it says, when say lakum a'malakum, it means like, whatever actions and things you do will get that blessed for you. So like, it's not about just sitting down and praying for it. Okay, you gotta manifest it, pray for it, yes, but then do the work for it.
So am I right in thinking then that manifestation is real even within the Quran?
Of course, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, it's that level of faith to believe that God will give it to you. Because faith is like not seeing it, but you get it. You know, that's very powerful. Like I knew what I got it now, I will get years before. I saw it, I felt it. You know, when we met that day in my house, like I saw that house in my hands 2 weeks before it. I got it. In the Waterpark, I saw every part of it. So nothing that I've seen or believed in didn't happen.
Because I remember you speaking to me last time intensely about how you'd visioned that you would own a penthouse apartment that overlooked the sea, where you had your and your water park at the time said welcome to Dubai or I love Dubai, something written like that, and you'd visioned that. And then when we looked out, and you were telling me that story, and then when we looked out the window, you were living that reality. And you told me intensely that you'd visioned this for years and years and years. What is the best way for people to be able to actionably start to visualize from today? Because I want people to understand how your vision is, specific steps, so they can action it.
Like my friend Jules says, custom made reality. So you custom made your reality in a sense as like, okay, you want these things, there is conditions towards it. I think at the beginning is okay, change your circle. Your circle is a very powerful thing. Change that. Go ghost. Because the problem is like you allow clowns in your life and then you complain that your life is a circus. So eliminate these clowns and monkeys from your life so you can have a better life quality. You can be alone for the next 6 months. Just focus and go to the gym, do your workout, learn new skill sets, new talents. Just focus on that. Your life could be 180 degrees change within that 6 months. I guarantee you. And that 6 months is a very long time. Yeah. But people lack that level of focus.
And it's relentless, and it's stepping back from relationships. It's stepping back from friend groups.
You know these people holding you back. You know that. You know exactly they are up to nothing. Let's go drinking. What's the ROI? What's the return on investment of me doing this? Because I have this simple three things. Is it making me healthier, happier, wealthier? Yes? Good. No? Don't do it. Those three things. Because ultimately that's what you want in life. Healthy, wealthy, and happier.
So that's that. You've set that as a framework in your life that you run all your decisions through.
Exactly. And a lot of times I believe in having, like, to decide a lot of things fast. I don't do it too long in decisions. Like, my decision making usually happens so quick. Like, I'd rather have 100 things I decide for in that one day. Maybe I have 50 wrong, but I have 50 right. Rather than doing only one a day. So it's more things happening in that time. Like today in the morning before you, like I had like 4 meetings back to back, just towards doing a new. I woke up, I had this crazy idea. Okay, let's do this. Spoke to my advisor, spoke to my operation manager, spoke to my factory, spoke to designer. Let's do this. Got feedback. Okay, we can rearrange this way. Let's go from there.
Yeah. So you bring the big idea to your team, and then you kind of get feedback from them in how it can be executed in the way. Tapers your little vision back a little bit, but the ultimate vision of how you're going to execute, that still stands, but they execute it in a way that's better.
That's one of the ways, yeah. Like literally, I think 2 weeks ago I was flying somewhere and I saw this video of one of my friends, one of the creators. He was talking about how this watermelon relates to Palestine. I was like, wow, that's an awesome idea. Within the same minute, I called one of the guys in the media office of Dubai. Hey, I want to write watermelon and Waterpark for the cause in the country. It's like, amazing idea, do it. Next phone call my team tomorrow morning. You wake up and you change the Waterpark to be this. 2 years later, done. We made a video, posted it, and it became viral. So there's no much less done because it makes sense.
So how important then in life is speed to making money, to growing everything?
Attack fast. Attack life fast. Don't be reactive. Be proactive. Attack life so fast that it have to catch up with you.
So literally like the reality has no other choice but to bend to your will.
To certain things, yes. I don't understand the word no. I don't know. I can't. I don't understand this word. Like, no, we got to find a way. There's always going to be a way. If we don't have a key, let's find the key for this one.
And I suppose that takes you back to why it's so important about who you're surrounded with, because you want to eliminate those words out of your life as much as possible and eliminate them out of your reality that you're living. And there's certain people in your friend groups, certain people within the family at this moment of time that you probably need to cut your time down with, because those words are embedded in their language and they're basically talking them over you all the time.
So be where you are celebrated, not tolerated.
That's powerful. That.
You're not a tree, you can move.
Quick one for you guys. This podcast is sponsored by contentremoval.com. As many of you are probably aware, I set up contentremoval.com in 2017 to help people remove all forms of online content. And I've looked after some of the biggest names and brands in the world doing it. And I would love to help you if you're struggling. If you're struggling to remove images, videos, search results, fake accounts, or anything online, go to contentremoval.com and we'll help you today. What would you say to people that say, they give you, you say they can move, you're waking them up to want to move, but they want to now put every excuse under the sun as to reason that, I've got kids at school, I've got this, that, and the other.
Again, I'm not here to save you. It's exhausting to take somebody to do something they don't want to do. You need to want to do this. Then I will show you how to do it. Because I can sit down, me and you can sit down right now, with a whiteboard, and we're going to go step by step, who to call, which website, what to say, email, numbers, everything. People are not going to do it. It's not for everybody. Yes, everybody have a hard time. We have bills to pay and so on and so on. We all have that. And this is what adult mean.
And that is the word, isn't it?
Yeah,
and. It's always and.
Yeah, and then what? You want me to cry for you and give you a certificate? This is what life is. Yes, we all have bills. You have bills. I have a lot of bills to pay. Yeah. If you see my numbers, the bills I have to pay for, you're not even going to want to do what I'm doing.
Well, you've watched me travel around the world doing podcasts and, trying to live my vision, and that costs money, and I have to go out and have to generate money to be able to go and give value to the world.
Like, life is so easy. It's like, no. You don't understand what we have to pay for. And that's fine. Again, people will assume everything.
I think it's so easy from the outside looking in to look at someone else's life and assume lots of things, and it's those assumptions always can create a lot of trouble in your life.
Yeah,
because it's very easy to look at someone else's life. It's very easy to look at your life, for argument's sake, and the abundance in your life at the moment, and for me to go, oh, it would be great if this, but there's certain steps that I haven't crossed, which means that my life is different. But there's certain things that you haven't crossed, which means my life is different. So if we can just take away the judgment of self and take away the judgment of others and take away the looking at what the Joneses have, we can move forward.
That's the thing, because people compare. I always say comparisons is the killer of joy. And the problem is, like, you will never find the same person twice, even the same person. Like, you open your Instagram, you in the Instagram and you in reality is two different people. So how do you want to compare you and that person? Doesn't make sense. Because people just lie so much on social media. This and this and this. Like, that's a rent a house. That's a rent a car. That's a fake watch. That's a fake shoes. That's not it. It's like, why are you comparing yourself to this? You need to be, happy with what you had. Because again, happiness is an inside job. It's called self-love, self-respect, self-awareness. It's all self within. It's not items, watches, cars, and where we're going to. Nobody cares. Okay, look at me, I'm doing this. Okay, fine. Then what? You attracted negative energy to your life. What for?
Yeah. I think that's key what you've just said there. It's like when you put out this false projection of who you are, then you attract people like the false projection who are also probably living a false projection. You're not truly aligned. So now you bring each other both negative environments, negative energy, negative consequences. You become a negative environment and you've stopped each other moving forward. When the truth is the real growth comes from sitting with yourself and actually asking who the fuck you are. Because when that allows you to find truth. You can't find truth in the mist.
No, and you said a very important part, alignment. Because even the 7 chakras, the alignment. What you think, what you say, and what you do. People think, say, and do. They're not aligned, and that's why the universe is not working with them. Because you're not aligned as an individual. Your energy lining is not aligned. So unless you are aligned in that way, which means you are authentic to yourself. So whatever you think is what you say, and what you say is you do. That's when your life going to change. But people don't do that. And when you start doing that, being aligned in that way, that's when life and energy around you and frequencies around you are going to change. The highest frequency is authenticity. Not love, joy. Yeah, it's nice, but it's that. And that's why you don't see me around people with negative energy or alcohol, because it's low vibration. That's very low vibration.
Well, it's called a spirit for a reason, because it's an evil spirit.
Exactly. And it lowers your vibration, and it's just bad. And people don't understand that part. Or they understand, but they don't want to do it because they're just lazy. Or they're like, okay, I'm justifying, I have a bad day. And how is you doing that, fixing that? You're having a good day. How is this making it better? Like, you're just wasting a new day. It's like you're borrowing happiness from tomorrow for today's sorrow. It doesn't make sense.
Well, the drinking a depressant to get happy is what confuses me the most.
Yeah.
Because like it's clinically proved that alcohol is the depressant.
Yes.
So why would you drink a depressant to chase happiness from a day that you're unhappy from?
I think a very big, powerful thing is acceptance. Acceptance can fix two things, depression and anxiety. Because when you don't accept what happened to you, you're depressed. Oh, that happened to me. Okay, fine. Accept it. Move on. And you can't accept the future. That's why you have anxiety. It's like, okay, you have no control in the outcome. That's why you start having anxiety, because like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen, and so on and so on. I always say just breathe. It's like, what? Breathe. Because when you breathe, you bring back your soul back to your body, because your soul is wandering somewhere in the future, doesn't exist, and is like doing all that nonsense. Going back to your body. When you breathe, you have more oxygen coming back to your blood, charging your blood again, and you're relaxing because your muscles are more relaxed. It's just simple things, but people don't do that. They just want to worry about things. It's like, why? Like, literally yesterday I had a situation with the family, and this happened. It's like, guys, half the problem solved right now. The other half, we will deal with it in January when we have more input and more data. We don't have the data yet for us to have a reaction to it. So it's pointless.
Yeah.
Get the data, and then understand data, and then react to it. Reacting emotionally is just going to drown you in sorrow.
100%. I had a problem with a client literally a week ago, and I could have quite easily thought myself into a position that became a battle and a problem and this and for that. And I had to sit with myself and say, do you know what? This is not ideal. This is far from ideal right now. And obviously this needs resolving. But I can only resolve what I see in my physical reality. I can't go into the future solving problems that haven't even happened yet.
Yes.
And why would I go there? Because that's not going to make me podcast better. That's not going to make me do better business. That's not going to do anything for me. I wrote down some of the dumb things that I was thinking where this could go, and it went nowhere near some of the dumb things where I thought it could go, and it's all resolved.
Yeah.
And it resolved its way in a beautiful way.
Much easier way.
But because we as humans, we like to put constriction and put problems that aren't even there half the time, and start to battle them. So we're fighting these battles in realities that haven't even happened in our physical reality.
That's the thing. All the wars in your life are won and lost in the space between your ears. Here.
Yeah.
That's it. This is your biggest asset or your worst enemy. It's on you. So again, in the equation of life, the only thing you can control is your reaction to things. Control that. That's it.
Obviously, your mind and your energy centers are your biggest vessel to take you towards the life that you want and the business that you want and everything that you want. How are you making sure that you keep the vessel clean so that you can go and do this?
I had this conversation with one of my friends who's a spiritual yogi person, and it's like every day in the morning I do manifestation and how I'm going to do my day and so on and so on, about like positivity and so on and so on. I said, okay, cool. And then how your day goes. I have ups and downs, and I go this. So you're not doing it right. You're saying mantras in the beginning of the day, but you're actually not following the mantras through the day. It's about how you catch yourself consciously. This is happening, and I'm not reacting to it this way. This is happening, I'm doing this to it. It's not about just saying a mantra or writing something on a journal or agenda and blah, 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 and then like that's it. You forget about it in the day. And in the day, hey, that's what happened to me. Like, you did not deal with it through the day. So I think it's been conscious in every single step of your day, of your actions, of every behavior. How do you react to everything? Being kind, being nice, being smiling to people, or being just observant and with love. Because I think it's a very powerful thing just to give love and kindness to people, be empathetic. I get sometimes, we both get sometimes a lot of interesting comments or DMs. And it's like, wow, you're coming from a very dark place. You left your day, you spent a good minute writing me a very nice hateful message, cool. I have nothing but empathy towards you because as a simple question to you, do you think we need more positive thoughts or less negative thoughts?
More positive.
No. Less negative. Let me explain to you how. You post a picture, okay? You have 100 people telling you, amazing brother, you're good and so on and so on, and you have one comment in you ugly mofo. You can forget about the 100 people telling you you're amazing. Remember that one individual who's hateful for you.
Yeah.
So it's less negative. It's more powerful than having 1,000 positive.
Right.
So that's something. Control the negative thoughts coming out of your head. That's the key.
And it's about everyone doing that.
Yes.
It's about everyone being
because you can be
mindful
positive all day, but then like one thing happens negative, or you lose your thing.
It takes you back.
Exactly. So like it's not receiving the negative in that way, or not taking that perspective of negativity in. That's the most powerful part.
The interesting thing is when negativity comes into your life, which it does, but it's good to reflect on how you feel and what your energy's been like in the lead up to that negative moment. Because what I've found is that when I reflect on that, I find that I've probably potentially created that negativity in my life in that moment to get that from the way I was thinking or from being angry, or because things seem to, in this reality that we live in, seem to expand. So negativity seems to expand into other areas of your life and other areas of things that happen to you. So it's just something like to be mindful of, that when something negative happens to you, rather than just reacting and going at someone, one, like you say, maybe go back with like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but have a beautiful day, like, to a negative comment.
It's not in that. A lot of times I won't even react to it, or it's like, if I need to react to it, I do, but then sometimes just leave it, delete it, or just like it. It's more fun that way. It's passive aggressive. But I think controlling your words and your thoughts and your presence are very important. So, because every word have an energy, the energy have a vibration goes in your voice, come back.
Well, break down the energy of the words that you speak, because I think this is a topic that's not touched on a lot, but I know that words are very powerful constructs.
Yeah, because again, every word have a number and every number have an energy. And you cannot just say, oh, I have a massive problem. It's a disaster. It's like, is it now? Because it's a simple situation that we can resolve with a phone call or somebody else come in or this steps towards resolving it. So it's not a disaster. So again, using the words to describe the situation is very important. Because using the right word for a situation, okay, we have a small obstacle, small challenge.
Do you study things like numerology and things like that?
Yeah. Because you have to understand we are very small beings in a very big universe. We have to take in consideration everything. What time of the month are we? Where is the star? And which sign is it? And what time of the day? Where are we facing? Which star? And which number is it? So all these things do add up.
It's strange because a lot of people will think I'm woo woo and off kilter mentioning it, but numerology. If you look at a Rolex advert or any advert for any luxury watch that's worth actually owning, every date dial in every picture is set to the number 28 because 28 is the number of wealth. Yeah. And it's numerology is hidden in plain sight.
Quran is nothing but a big book of numerology.
Yeah, 100%.
Everything in the Quran is numbers. How many letters? How many surah? How many verses? How many pages? Everything is numbers, and that's the whole thing. We forgot how powerful numbers are. Actually, we've been brainwashed towards thinking what numbers are powerful. But yeah,
this is why all there's a portal opened up at the moment called the 1111 portal, and that is why companies like Amazon are using 1111 on all their advertising, and because it drives revenue because people spend more money. Yeah. If you understand the energy around the numbers and what to launch on these days, exactly. and there's certain days that we won't go too advanced
days
into
and hours and times. Yeah, exactly.
There's certain days, times, and hours that you shouldn't do stuff, and that I don't do stuff because I could get injured or something.
Exactly. There's like even with the planets, the specific each hour of the day, like Dubai will be facing Venus or Mars or Mercury or Saturn, and these hours, each hour means something. So there's specific meetings I will not do in these hours because it's a very heavy hour. It's not going to succeed anything. And these other hours are very good for these kind of things. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I literally will move meetings or things to meet these hours because they're important. And I did that so many times both ways, ignoring it and doing it. And I was like, wow, that actually works.
I will push more meetings that will be like in terms of like closing meetings, revenue generating meetings. I'll push more meetings on, you know, like on the 26th because that adds up to 8, on the 8th because obviously it's the 8th because they have money, or on the 28th because it's the day of wealth. You know, and any day that I know it sounds stupid, but any day that adds up to 8, I focus on money tasks.
Again, a simple way to figure it out. Just put in paper. Today I did this, and this is the numbers out for. This is how do I repeat that day. Today I had a good day. Okay, what happened today? What was the numbers like? What was the weather like? Where's the stars like? Just understand that sequence, and then wow, I will teach you something else today with the new app for the planets. Also, you would love it.
Yeah. And we potentially stand the chance of losing people when we talk about numerology, but and I'm okay to lose people because I'm telling you now, I've been studying numerology for about 2.5 years.
Nice.
And I only feel now I'm starting to understand the concept. Like if you price your prices in 8s, like in terms of like, you know, $2,600 rather than $2,400, you'll do more business. You do more revenue.
There's so many other ways to do it. I'll teach you. Yeah, there's so many other ways.
I know there's advanced levels that we'll get into, but it just baffles me how people are so unattuned to it. Because if you look through the Bible, you look through the Torah, the Quran, they're all books of numbers. Whether people want to admit it or not, and you know there's powerful numbers like 11, 22, 33 that are the master numbers. You got the numbers of money, which is 8. You got the number of wealth, which is 28. Exactly. Go on for hours.
That's one part of it, and then also the other part is the planets.
Yeah, and it's just about we before we lose people with that. Like I think all you guys should look into numerology and how numerology affects the major brands and what the major brands are doing with numerology, so that you understand how they're getting you to spend lots of money and why they only launch certain stuff on certain dates. So important, critical. If you can get it and if you can understand what I'm saying, it'll change your life. I promise you. But Ahmed, let's just take it back an even bigger stage, because I want to give people some practical knowledge on, obviously, when you obviously started the first aqua park, the first water park, you obviously must have raised capital. You weren't using your own money, I take it.
Two things. So okay, I know where you're going with this question. So this is my experience and this is my journey with this. I think the worst thing you can do for yourself is raise capital.
Right, okay.
Because what happens, I think, a couple of things happen. First of all, you lose equity.
Yeah.
Because let's say you have a new business coming up. It's like, Ahmed, I want to invest. Okay, fine, I'll invest, but I'll take a big equity in your company or the project. Now you lost control of this thing. Because first of all, you have no record, you have no numbers, you have no sales, you have no leverage towards negotiating a lower or higher equity. So that's the big, when somebody comes to the business idea, like, you want to immediately raise capital and it's just like, why? You can do it yourself. Like I could have done things differently, as in like, start smaller and grow gradually. So trying to go big and do this and all big things. So what happened? We did 2 very big projects, and then there's a lot of aspects we had no idea about that change, and we lost so much money on expenses and so on that turned up to be a big problem. The next 6 months later, everything folded.
So did you raise the initial capital from loans or
investors? So I met like 8 to 2 investors, and then eventually one said yes, and then that got his friends to come with us.
So how did you break down that deal so that so obviously he invest for a set return on his capital rather than taking equity? So
again, there's different ways of doing this. You can have returns on that specific project. A fixed return on a specific, you put money in, let's say $1 million, you get like 1.2. You fix return on a specific timeline, done. Or he's a continuous long-term investor for that project onwards, or he's an investor in the actual company, have equity in the company, a vote and so on. So there's different ways of doing this. So everybody have different formulas. So that was one mistake. Now a lot of friends afterwards, when it became where we are now, they want to come and invest in the companies. And it's like, they want to do an e-commerce website and so on. And they come and they want to raise like $1 million or $500,000. And it's like, why? Because you want to get the stock. It's like, you don't need that. It's a very simple way of doing it. And I told this way to so many people. Some listened to me and some ignore it. They thought I was cheap. And I gave you the knowledge. Basically, instead of you trying to like buy stock for $500,000, that you think and assume that it will be sold, well, do a whole campaign. Put the campaign out and see which items, A/B campaign marketing, see which items are more clickable, and then these ones you put them for sale. And then when you hit the minimum quantity number, that's the number you have. Let's say, instead of saying 100 mics, now you can place the order from the factory. You would retail the mic for, let's say, $100, but you got from the factory for $20. Okay, fine. Out of factory, I have 100 orders. All the customers, you're going to be late for the delivery. Simple. Hello, customers. Sorry for my delay. Here's a 15% discount for the next voucher for the next order, and here's a free gift. Now, you've sold 100 pieces without having to put a penny out of your pocket. You've gained money, and you now understand the market, what they want.
Yeah.
If you're an influencer and so on and so on, you have free market research.
So how many people out there, from percentage terms, do you think, from your experience of entrepreneurs, how many are going out there? Is it 8 out of 10 that are going out there and say, without this data, and then going and buying stuff that they don't need and ending up with stock left over? Or?
Almost 90%. Right. Which is baffling for me. And then they complain, oh, it doesn't work. No, your way doesn't work. Because that's not the smart way to do it. You just think you want to be ready 100% for you to be in the business. No, you got to start slow and then grow into it.
But what you've said as well isn't drop shipping. Whereas I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. What you're saying is, build a brand, because brand is a better idea for you, and do a trial sale of X amount of pieces, and then when you hit that sale, say apologize for the late delivery, give the discount, give a gift, and then order that in the bulk, and that starts you off on the path to success. So what have you done there? You've tested the product, you've tested the route, you've hit your minimum order quantity, and the customer's happy as well, and there's not too much delay in that. Whereas what dropshippers are doing is they're starting with 10 different products, and they're trying to fire them out, and then they're reliant on the Chinese factories posting them on time, and kind of
exactly.
and then you end up with selling all these different things to figure out what you got to sell, but then you also end up with the customer unhappy because they're not packaged and not done the way that you want them done, right?
Exactly. That's one day. Also, secondly, social media. If you have a good following, you build a good following. Simple. Put that on your story. Hey guys, you think this or this item, this color or this color, this size or this size? Simple thing. This now your end user customer is saying you what they want, because you think they want this, but in reality they don't want that. And then people, when they get so hung up in basically trying to create a perfect content or perfection is nothing but insecurity.
Perfection is nothing but insecurity. Explain that.
Because you are putting this unobtainable standard that you think this is the way people want it, and this is the excuse for you not to go and market, because you're too scared to go and market because it needs to be perfect. No, you need to be, in a way, ashamed of your version number one. Like Instagram now is version what? 390 something. So it went, and again, that's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So more than 1,000 versions. What Instagram was in the beginning, where it is right now, is a whole different, embarrassing.
You got to iterate on what you're doing.
Exactly. So again, put in the market, improve, get the feedback. You have the knowledge, improve, and now you have the power. You can't be in the beginning perfect. I tried once before, having a video, overproduced video, drones and editors and extras and extra cameras, and shoot 8K and 4 days editing, put the video, nothing. And then we had a video with a phone, shaky video, 4 seconds. That video got 37 million views. And then that video that we spent so much time and energy and money on it got us less than 100,000 views.
Because on all these social platforms, especially on short form content now, they want user generated.
Yeah. Again, you need to be, all the users, consumers are very basic people. They don't care about the transition and the color grading. Yeah, it's nice to have. We will understand that because we're professionals. But most consumers and end users, they don't care about that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
are you giving me the service that I want or the price or the product I want in the right price, the right speed? Yes, I'll take it from you.
I think I've even learned that in my own journey. I started off with one mic in the center of a table, and then I got to 2 mics, and then I got to one camera, one
wide camera and yeah, 2, 3, yeah.
Then I got to 3 iPhones. Then I got to like 1 professional camera. And then I was like 2 professional cameras need to be like. It's just been an iteration, and you can see from like the first time when I came and shot.
Different.
We're going again, and I've ordered some more stuff today to take this to a whole nother level again. It's like, because I'm constantly looking at the like, okay, if it's very easy for me or you or anyone to go onto the internet right now and we could look at 17 different podcasts, and they're all producing this real great content, and it's very easy for me to get into this comparison mode, this comparison. But where does it get me? It doesn't improve me the 1% that I need to move I need to move my ship 1% further, not worry about what everyone else is doing, all the grass is greener stuff.
It's not the pencil, is how you write your name. So it's not the tool, it's how you use the tool.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all about what comes out of these mics.
The depth of the conversation.
Exactly, where is the cuts? How much value you're providing? How much entertainment you're providing?
Yeah.
That's purely it. And because we do an hour long, okay, there might be a good 40 seconds that these 40 seconds will change somebody's life. If you change somebody's life, that means you change his whole generation. Because that change would pivot him, and his whole family will change route, because that one thing you're saying, that 20-second video you post.
That's the whole concept of what I'm doing. It's like, I'd rather have 20,000 subs and have people like, that's just on YouTube, but I'd rather have that and have people actually send me those long messages that they've changed their life and they've made more money for their daughter or help their wife, than have someone go, I was entertained for 3 seconds, and just be one of those things that gets millions of views for entertainment. You have to know what you're doing it for, so you can judge yourself accordingly. Yeah. Let's talk about Dubai as an opportunity for people. I mean, you've lived here your whole life, and you've experienced this from an internal point of view. But obviously, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, all these places now in the Emirates are starting to become more and more appealing for the Western world, because they're seeing what degeneracy is potentially happening in their own backyard. Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on Dubai, the future of Dubai, and obviously the opportunities that there are here? Or do you think that ship's already sailed?
Okay, so I've traveled to 99 countries, so I have a good overview about where to do the things. Dubai brings specific list of things. Safety, it's very safe. No tax, it's a very powerful thing. No income tax is a very powerful thing. Because it mind blows me when people say they pay 30, 40, 50% income tax. It blows my mind. Weather is amazing for 6 months. 7 months is very good weather. The rest is hot. Okay, you can travel. But anyways, we have a lot of indoor things to do, so we can still survive. Opportunities. We have access to meet big people. I can meet a CEO or owner of this very quickly here than anywhere. Because anywhere in the world, you have to email and phone call and so on and so on. There's so much opportunities here. The thing is like, okay, just because there's opportunities doesn't mean it's given to you. You still have to work for them. So again, it's still like, there's a lot of people who travel from a place to a place or move countries, but they still carry the same mindset, the same traumas, the same nonsense, the same behaviors, which is basically self-destructive. So unless if you change that, it's not going to work out. So you need to come up in the place, understand the culture, respect the culture. And yes, it's a very modernized place, but it's still a very Muslim other place. There's a lot of rules here. There's a lot of things you need to learn before you come and attempt things. In general, if you are a person who wants to grow, this is an amazing place to be. You want a person who want to enjoy life and good lifestyle, amazing place. But don't come with the nonsense from that country. Don't be degenerate. Don't come with like, I have these rights and so on and so on, because that's not how life is. There's specific rules like cyber laws. You cannot bully people. You cannot harass people. You cannot, be insulting to people verbally or visually or on social media. That doesn't go. You can't just go put a camera in somebody's face. Hey, that's not legal. So all these things, you understand the laws. So when it happens to you, we are oppressing you. No. Each country has its own law. You have to respect it, because the law rules the place. And if you obey it properly and you work properly, man, there's no limits here. No limits. I know a lot of people who came with nothing. Within a year, they've been making some good chunk of money. And the people who lived here for 10 years, they did nothing in life. So it depends on you.
Yeah. What kind of stage do you feel that people have to kind of be at both in their mindset and wealth terminology, to be able to come and access the kind of opportunities that you're talking about?
There is so many levels in Dubai. Dubai is like an onion. There's so many levels to it. Again, there is people who, it depends what is okay for you. Because some man will be okay to live with £1,000. Some people know you want £10,000. Some people want £100,000 per month. Again, there's different layers of this, but there is from everything. You know, you can. I know people who's living good life, $1,000, and I know people who's living miserably with $100,000. So it depends what kind of life you want to be in, really. Because I've seen, people $1,000. Yes, he will live sharing with other friends and so on in an apartment, and he will use public transport and so on and so on. That's one lifestyle, and there's, of course, the lifestyles in Dubai are crazy.
Yeah,
you're aware of that, yeah.
I've seen both ends of the spectrum. Yeah, I've been out to the projects, which is like the workers, giving out food with Tam Khan and done the charity work out there. Shout out to Tam Khan. I've been out there and seen that side of it, which is a part of Dubai that I don't think many people have seen. Yeah. So I've seen that side of it, but I've also seen the abundant wealth, and I've been to, the 7-star hotels, and I've podcasted in penthouse suites of 7-star hotels, and I've been to your place, and I've seen the abundance, and I see it all. And like my thought process is that people shouldn't approach this place from just a place of just to save tax. I think that's where a lot of Westerners go wrong. I think they just come here and go, it's just me to save tax. I think that is the wrong way to look at Dubai. I think you should look at it more of like, okay, will I be able to access more people from more locations? And I think Dubai is situated beautifully for that.
It's very central, yeah.
It's like on this podcast, whilst I'm in Dubai, I'm going to have Americans. I'm going to have Americans on. I'm going to have Australians on. Wow. I'm going to have some people on from the UK, and I've got Emiratis like yourself coming on the podcast. So what I'm saying is that I've got people from 4 regions in one place. I don't have that in Miami. I don't have that in London, and I don't have that in other places. Whereas Dubai, to me, from a podcast terminology, it's very easy to do.
Access to people is much bigger, much bigger. Again, it's a melting pot here. Again, there's 201 nationalities living in Dubai. Yeah. It's a lot of different nationalities, and they all coexisting and tolerant and respectful of each other, and that's a very powerful thing.
Is there anywhere else you'd live?
No. I tried. I've genuinely tried. Couldn't find a place. Like Europe, impossible. America, absolutely not. South America, maybe some places are nice just to visit and stay a couple of months. Some places in Asia, yes, maybe for a couple of months. But to actually have a life, no.
I went to America recently for 3 months, and I just couldn't get over the poor quality of food and it's just
it's everything there is wrong.
It's the water quality, the food quality, the
healthcare quality, the people quality. It's just all no.
It's not safe.
Like I've already said I'm never going back again.
Yeah. Well, you're never going to enter the country again.
I'm done. I did 18 times. I'm done then. No more. Yeah. I've seen enough.
Yeah. So in regards to how you look at growing from here, are you staying in the niche of Waterparks, or are you pivoting to other businesses and brands?
Oh, no, I have different businesses, but the Aqua Fund is what people see. But like a lot of the money goes out into investments. So I invest a lot in real estate, a lot of in tech companies, a lot of like in assets and so on and so on.
What areas are you buying your real estate?
I have in, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries. Yeah, in 5 countries for now.
So you actually, are they Emirates as well?
No, countries.
So you
outside also, yeah.
So you invest like in America, UK?
No. I like Bali, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Morocco, and Mauritius.
Right. Yeah. And they're all places, when you own a place and when you own a property in these places, do you have it so that you can rent it out and so that you can also travel to it yourself?
Somewhat, yes. Sometimes, that's the case, and just investments.
Yeah.
It's a way to play, like, these are good deals. Let's put them, like already all the stuff that we bought already doubled in value in less than 12 months. And that's amazing.
And I suppose you get that knowledge from, as you become more affluent, you get that knowledge from other people with inside that space, so you can protect your capital, right?
Because again, there's a lot of investment that went very good, and a lot of investment just went south. And there's a lot of scammers, there's a lot of fake projects, there's a lot of different things. So you live and learn.
Yeah, because I read a study on property in Bali, and it's like you can't own the land.
You can.
You can own the land. So there are ways around that.
There's always a way.
There's always a way.
Ways are always with people. Find out people, you get their own other things.
See, this is a classic example of why it's critical that at every part of your journey that you always get presented with the right information.
Exactly.
So how could, if you were going to give advice to this audience on how they can discern what's right and what's wrong with the information that they have and how to take it on board, what would you say?
Don't assume. Ask questions. Ask questions. Listen, there is no excuse. There's YouTube, there's Google. You can find all the information. Ask a question, why this is good, and also ask why this is bad. Find both parts of the equation, then be critical thinking. Yeah. Go and ask questions. Go to the right sources, because that's easier the way. Just ask. There's a lot of very social people. There's a lot of good places to look for information. You're just lazy.
I feel like this podcast has gone the way of self-ownership. It's like, if you want to build your own custom-made reality, you've got to take self-ownership and accountability. Mm-hmm. And it's from that accountability that you can start to achieve the success and abundance that you've got and that you've created in your life. So if you were going to leave this podcast today but just leave one pearl of wisdom, one thing that's going to take this audience that 1% further, what would it be?
Focus on your body. Because being on the couch all day or doing lazy stuff, actually take care of your body. When you start working out and taking care of what comes in your body, that will change everything in your body, chemistry-wise. And you become more focused and you be more driven. That's stage one. In the same time, change your circle. Go ghost. Be an actual ghost. Start learning something else. It would take you 100 hours to learn something new, to be very good at something. That's nothing.
And when you say ghost, just to elaborate on that ghost comment,
remove TikTok, remove Instagram, remove these things that waste time and energy. Stop spending time with people that they're up to no good. Stop drinking, stop partying, stop doing that nonsense. Focus on what actually gives you happiness, health, and wealth. If it's not doing that for you, you don't allow it. You need to be the CEO of your life. You hire, you fire people in your life as you want. And
I suppose there's one more thing I should ask you, because if I don't, I'll probably get crucified in the comments. There's a blue bag. There's a blue Louis Vuitton bag over there, and I heard a rumor that I've heard a rumor about this bag on other channels, and I've seen it before. And this was never in the original video.
No, it was hidden.
It's hidden in the video. Yeah. So give a bit of a context to this bag and why you carry this bag and why you carry the contents of this bag.
Okay. 2 reasons. Most people never see more than $100,000 cash in their life. Most people. So it's a very interesting test to see if this person is rooted or not, because people will literally, ruin your life, burn your house down, kill you, and do very horrible things to you just for some money. So that's a very interesting test to see where you are. 1. Number 2, the mindset of abundance. It is very different if you walk to a meeting. Let's say, I'm going to say the number here, but let's say if you have $10,000 in your pocket and you're going to sell something, you can approach and talk differently because you have that in your pocket. Different when you go in and you have nothing in your pocket. So walking around with that much cash on me, it's why? It's you never know with my lifestyle. I'll be with you in 2 hours later, I'll be in a plane. I'm going to go somewhere else in the world, and usually the number one incentive in the world is cash. You throw that in the door, it opens, you have a situation, a problem, Bali, you throw something at it, it gets sorted. So that's basically the reasons behind it.
So how much cash do you carry?
I think this one, $500,000.
$500,000 US?
Between US and euros and dirhams.
So you walk around on the daily with $500,000 cash on you?
Pocket money.
Do you care to show it on the camera?
I'm not going to show the camera. I'll show you, but I'm not showing the camera.
Yeah, okay. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And also, you wear watches that are worth multiple 6 figures as well.
I think this is £250,000.
Yeah. And I remember you
saying, they're assets.
I remember you saying to me once that if you need to catch a flight, you just give the watch for the private jet to rent that private jet, and you can
not in that way, but again, it's
an opportunity.
Yeah, it's a very, again, for me, it was an exercise for assets, like how do I have things that will retain my value or appreciate my value. That was one part of it. And secondly, it's a good way to showcase how you're doing in life.
Yeah, yeah.
That was it, basically. Because again, for like a very long time in my life, I didn't have a watch, or I remember I had an Omega, a blue Omega, for almost 5 years. That's the only watch I had. And then literally working for 5 years nonstop, and then I realized, I had some money. Let me gift myself something, and that's when I bought my first expensive watch.
And the cash to you on your person, that just represents to you a new energy level that you can move through.
Again, walk into a place knowing that you can buy the place out because you did the work for it, and so on and so on. That's the power. Yeah. I'm not, again, and I don't show it much. It's like, you know about it, but like in general, like I don't know to. Yeah.
It's kind of an underground known thing, but like in terms of like, because I just want to give the audience this one piece. I think it'll help them. I think everybody should carry a couple of £1,000, a couple of $1,000 worth of cash if they can.
Even don't spend it. Have it on you.
Just to know that it's
abundance mindset. It will change the way you talk.
Yeah.
It will change the way you behave.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, some people can't. I have this much $1,000. It's like, yeah, okay, I get, but it's different when you actually have hardcore in your pocket. You knowing that.
Yeah.
And it's also more fun when they know that.
And it's a case of like keep stretching your limits with the amount of cash that you carry.
Limits are only in your head.
My dad, he's just a beautiful soul in general. But when I went to buy my first car, in my head, I went to buy this BMW, and it's beautiful and it's all glossy, and to me it's beautiful. It's my first.
For him, it was.
For him, it's like we went for a ride in this car, and he said to me, "Do you like the car?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but Dad, I don't have the money on me to buy this right now. I have to transfer this. And he just pulled out like just thousands of pounds, and I didn't realize that I used to think that the bulges that he was carrying in his pocket, because he's a working man and owned a paint and decorating business. Yeah. I used to think the bulges in his pocket were tape measures, but he walks around, but because he just wears the t-shirt, basically
he doesn't show it. Yeah.
He doesn't show it, but he just carries a lot of cash.
That's the whole thing.
And then he could just pay. He just bought it, and I paid him back. But the lesson was, one, don't judge a book by its cover, and two, always have the ability to move on things because with what that gives you is the opportunity to move on opportunities that you would otherwise miss.
Exactly. Because again, like, it's different when you put the money out, you can negotiate better deals. Yeah. Much better deals. Because they see it now. They see it. It's different when they see it and, you got to transfer me the money, and like, okay, it's done there. He wants it in his hand right now. That's the powerful thing about it. This is why I do that. It's like, why? It's like, no, just.
And I'm sure you've done this with like cars and watches and stuff like that. When you get the actual 200,000 US out on the table, and the watch was 250,000, people will just move the deal.
Yeah.
And you've saved yourself 50 grand because you had the cash, you had the opportunity.
But again, the thing is this: that is a decade of me working my ass off.
Yeah.
I was not born into this. I was not given this. I was not just, I was born into this. I worked so hard, continuous nights and days for me to get there. So it wasn't like, I just got it. No, it was, there is a lot of things that I had to go through, trials and tribulations for me to reach this stage. So it wasn't like, it's showing off. No. This is me to me. I don't care about your opinion. I know what I have. That's why you don't see me driving an expensive car, because I know what I have. I have to prove it.
And really, Dubai is the only city in the world.
Well, that's the only place in the world. You can no way I do this anywhere else. I will be wearing this in Europe or this in America.
As soon as you leave the Emirates, you cannot. You cannot wear that watch without security, and you cannot carry that bag without security.
Impossible. Like impossible.
And even like in London now, if you went dressed, because I go to Harrods quite a lot when I go to London, right? I like the ambience of the place. I love the history of it. And the Arabs now do not wear Arabic garments to go to because
targets,
because their security they become targets on that street. And even with security, it doesn't stop a gang coming at you and taking your stuff. So it's like it's beautiful that you're not only in the abundance of being able to to be able to
do it.
But you're in a place where probably the last place in the world that you can actually do it as well.
There's a couple of them, but this is one of them.
But but I just want to say thank you very much for coming and dropping this value on here today.
And I hope people, will take something out of this and learn from it, because that's the ultimate reward for me. Is like if somebody DMs me in a week, hey, I've saw this thing and I've changed my life and it became this. This is so happy.
And I'll drop Ahmed's link on for his Instagram, Aquaman, and for his Waterpark and everything like that, so you can go and see all the stuff that he's doing. I'll also drop a link below this video so you can watch our first video. The sound's not as good as the sound today, but essentially that covers more of Ahmed's journey as well on his earlier days. But I wanted to go into some of the nuances today for you guys to kind of get you thinking a little bit different, because it's the thought process that opens up your mind that allows you to achieve the levels that you all want in your life. I know that. I've seen it in my reality, and I see it in everyone else's that achieves top things. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe to the video, and much love. Guys, do me a solid favor. Drop a comment below this video and let us know who you want on the podcast next.